All right, we're on to example 6 of 10-6. This one is a different type of factoring. Okay, the main difference between this factoring and the factoring that we did before is the fact that a, or I guess the number that's in front of x squared, has a number that's not 1, right? When it's 1, we can focus on these last two terms, but when it's not, things change a little bit. So it says in this trinomial, a GCF, or a greatest common factor of 2, can be taken out. You always want to look for the GCF first before you start factoring, because it's going to make the factoring a lot easier. So if I take out a 2, then all of my terms get divided by 2. So it turns into 2x squared plus 9x minus 5. Then what happens is that you have your new numbers. So B and C, remember, are the middle and the last, which are 9 and -5. And then A is the one in the front, which is the 2. Okay. We are still finding two numbers that multiply and add, but instead we are finding two numbers that multiply to these two that add to the middle. So here we have a sum of 9, but a product of -10, because that's where the 2 and the 5 are coming in. So this one goes down a little bit. So let's go ahead. They have this nice chart filled out for us. We can go ahead and use it for these first few. So -10 and 1 make -9. -5 and 2 make -3. 5 and 2 make 3. And 10 and -1 make a 9. Here they have all the possible combinations, whereas in before they didn't have that. So I want to look for a pair of factors with a sum of 9. Okay, that's pretty easy right here. So 10 and -1. And it doesn't matter which ones go first, which ones go second. You can put them in any order you want, as long as you just keep them in the right places and they have the right signs with them. So here, I want to go ahead and follow where they have the numbers here. So it looks like they put the 10 first and then the -1 last. So what you're going to do is you're going to break apart the 9x's in the middle. Instead of 9x, we're going to write it as 10x and -1x, because that makes the 9, right? 10x and -1x. Okay. And if you notice this, let me write it out so you can see it better. 2x squared plus 10x minus 1x, that's a 1x there, minus 5. As you can see, it has 4 pieces. In the last section, we actually learned about this. When it has 4 pieces like that, that's called factoring by grouping. So from here on out, you just do your grouping stuff, right? So I'm looking at the first 2, and they have a 2 in common, right? They have a 2 in common. So I'm going to go ahead and take that out. Okay. Sorry, this should be a negative x minus 5 in there. Okay. So now, after I take a 2 out of this and this, I get an x plus 5 left over when you're dividing it out. Okay. And then, oh, I think I missed a step here. The fill in the blank ones are tricky because I never know what steps they're doing. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and finish it off with my own work because I want to make sure I'm filling in the right stuff, right? Okay, so a 2. A 2 is what they have in common, so I'm going to take that out. I'm going to put it over here. So if I divide out the 2, I have an x, a 2 and an x, right? 2x. And then I get an x and a 5. If I divide 10 divided by 2 is 5. I took an x out. So now there's only a 5 left. Drop down the minus. X and -5 have nothing in common at all. So I'm going to put a 1 there. Okay. They do still have a 1 in common. All right. And then I divide it out. So -x divided by a -1 creates a positive x. -5 divided by -1 makes a 5. And remember, with grouping, you want the parentheses pieces to match. Very important. Okay, so now we have 2x plus 1 as one of our pieces, and then x plus 5. So really the only thing that's different about this is the beginning part when you're looking for the things that multiply to one number that add to another. So this is the final answer. And I'm not going to finish filling in the blanks because we are done with that one.